Oh, well.
That's all I
Oh
can
my
do.
God.
Welcome to another episode of Table Talk. I am Mo Lightning, and I got to be honest right off the bat. I'm getting ready for the show, making sure I'm somewhat put together. I mean, I always look like a hobo, but I'm trying to put myself together a little bit. And I almost put cologne on, thinking that I was like going to hang out with you guys. But then I realized I can be as stinky as I want.
I splashed some body spray on me just now.
Good. It's not just me.
Deodorant.
Well-
Hang on. Oh no.
Wonderful. Lindsay, what are you smelling like today?
It's Bath and Body Works cucumber melon, bringing back
Okay.
classics. Yeah.
Oh my
Nice.
God, I'm wearing that right now.
Are you?
Yes.
I would have guessed that from
I
Devon.
knew it.
Listen, I'm
Knew
gonna
it.
be honest with you. Bubba used to tease me all the time because I would wear Victoria's Secret and body spray and
I
wash
mean,
with it. I mean, all the. I love it, man.
it smells
I love it.
good.
It smells great, and I'm like, I was protesting. I said, why is it just made for women? Why can't guys wear it too if they like it?
Well, good for you for being confident in your
You see what I'm
masculinity.
Well, listen, I was confident a long time ago. I was even confident last week. I'm very upset and I'm very disappointed that the people took my words out of content. But yet when I said I was ready for RuPaul and to be on the drag race, nobody wrote about that. That wasn't breaking news. I'm upset about that. I honestly my heart was like pouring out. And none of these sheet writers took it in, perspective that, hey, Devon's going to be on RuPaul's Drag Queen. I was upset. I was upset. Nobody took me coming out the closet seriously.
I wonder why that could be, Devon. I just don't get it.
I even used the word infatuation. Ooh, can't use that word anymore.
Nope. How dare you say that, Devon? You're gonna get us in trouble.
I
Stop that.
don't want this to be our last. Come on.
Oh boy. Well, Devon, how are you doing today? You fine smelling son of a.
Shut your mouth. I'm only talking about Devon. I'm actually doing really, really good. I'm up, and I was laying down for a little bit. I was like, I get tired very fast. I got to be careful what I say because of my health issues. I get tired very fast, but I was able to lay down for a little bit, and I almost lay down too much. My alarm clock went out and came back on, and it was like, I guess it was like maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes behind. So when I got up, I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay, I still got time. And I closed my eyes, and I said, wait a minute. I said that was the time it was when I left to go lay down. Now it's still that time. No, something's wrong. That's when I realized, like, oh my God, it's time to do the show.
Yeah.
We would have started without you. We were having a great time off air talking to our guest, a former TNA knockout. She is one of the hosts of GA TV, which actually has a new episode today, and I'll throw up the graphic here in a moment. She's a host, she's a model, she is a goddess, ladies and gentlemen, SOCAL VAL.
Well, what an intro. Thank you so much.
So
Thank you.
Now, Val, I'm upset with you. We've known each other for over 15 years, and I'm just hearing about this show that you have, and yet, Big Brother Brown Bear was not able to get a call to be on your show.
You know what? I figured this was the perfect intro. I thought, okay, cool. So, because we don't know who wants to be on the show. We're like, we reach out. We've had Al Snow. Tonight we have Jazz, and we're like, well, I'm not sure. We don't want to bug him. But I thought, hey, if Devon's into the social media, show kind of world, maybe he'll be on it. So if we can have a verbal agreement that you'll be on GA TV with me, Mickey James, and Lisa Marie Barron.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I will watch that.
I'll be on it. I will be on it.
I will.
I would
Listen,
love that.
I was upset last week that how the dirt sheet writers, they only put out certain things that they think that'll get controversy and all of that think they would disrupt the wrestlers or what have you. Well, I put out there that I was coming out of the closet and I wanted to be on RuPaul's Drag Race, and nothing. I didn't Google or anything. I was mad. I was pissed.
I didn't know you were even a fan. I have my RuPaul's Drag Race Sasha Velour pillow right here, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
I actually took a picture with one of the women. I guess it was last season. tall. She's tall and very, I will say this, drag queens, listen, I have a lot of respect for them because they look better than some of the women.
Oh yeah, no, they do.
Oh
And you know
my
what?
God.
The most crazy thing about it is people don't realize that they have to be everything. They have to be makeup artists. They have to be hairstylists, actors,
Yeah.
dancers, comedians. They have to do it all. So sometimes they don't get the respect they deserve. Now, my circle of friends, we are obsessed with Drag Race, of course. But a lot of the wrestling fans aren't as familiar with it. So it's my job to sometimes mention it on GAW TV or to do careful product placement like this and get them
Right.
interested in what I think is an art form.
Well, I took a picture, like I said, with one of them, and I got to get the name. I have the picture actually in my phone, but I got to put it on social media. It's great. And
Please
you see me like this looking.
Oh yeah, looking and liking.
Looking and liking. But see, that won't make the dirt writers or the sheet writers thing. But what will make it is if I say I'm lying or something like that, they'll put that up. Or if I say that I'm infatuated with Stephanie McMahon, and I shouldn't have used the word infatuation, I should have used the word admire. So I made a mistake in using the word infatuation. And then, of course, they went up there and said, oh, the Hall of Famer Devon Dilley's infatuated with Stephanie McMahon and this and that. And I was just like, wow, really? But I guarantee you they won't.
With Stephanie, but why would they take your words like that? They're always looking for something like clickbait, aren't they? I'm like, is it a slow news day? What are you doing?
Always. So I just said, oh, well. So I said, let me see if they'll, I'm feeling confident in my masculinity, like Lindsay said earlier before you came on. And, I'm coming out the closet. I'm going to be on Drag Queen. I'm going to be on the Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race. I would love that.
I was just telling the host that I don't watch much wrestling, but I watch I watch Drag Race religiously. So if you were on, I would see you a lot more than I do now.
But Val, here's the deal. Nobody bid on it. Nobody would go on Google and make it trend. I was shocked.
I got to find this tweet.
I thought, no, I came on the show. I came on Table Talk and said it because because some of the stuff I say, what they do is they put it in their own words to make it look, they tangle it up and bunch it up. They do all of that. Yeah. And so I figured if I said that, I would definitely get them to put it out there. No, they didn't.
Wow. I wonder who's coming in here and doing it. It's so shady because there's always something that they want to twist your words about. Like I remember I did an article. I've had a lot of stuff happen like that. I did an article once for the Sun newspaper, actually in the UK where I'm at now, and they're very, very hated and not respected at all. And I was asked about the TNA knockouts versus the WWE divas. And of course, being with Impact Wrestling, I said, our girls were great, blah, blah, blah. And I never once, said that the girls in WWE were subpar or that we were better. And somehow they misconstrued the whole situation, and it made it look like we're better than them. And I would have never said that. Plus, a lot of us have friends in WWE when we were in Impact, so I would have never tried to offend anyone. But they picked up on something I said and made it sound really, really snotty and bitchy, and not cute.
They went and tagged Hunter in it, and I mean they were Triple H. Are you listening? Are you watching? And I'm like, really? And then one idiot goes, oh well, I guess he didn't say my name. He just went, oh, I guess somebody's going to be future endeavored. Because you know how when WWE fires you, they say, wish you the best in future endeavors. Yeah. Or we wish somebody looks like somebody's going to be future endeavored. I was like, why? Because I complimented the man's wife and said she was beautiful inside and out. Yeah. I said she had a great personality and all of that. I mean, how dare I say that?
That's not how the internet works, Devon. You're supposed to trash everything.
Yeah, you're such a nice guy. No wonder they don't like that. When you're a nice person, you don't make all the headlines, and you're not like ruffling feathers everywhere. By the way, I want to mention that I also put on some Chanel before I came on. So you guys are not weird. Cologne. Yeah.
Okay. It just makes me feel like I don't know.
Listen, I always said this about Val, and I told her to her face. And I made it publicly aware how I felt in terms of Val. She is probably the best dressed female in all of pro wrestling, and pretty much. And I mean, you can't get any girly girl than Val. Number one, and number two, I used to put her over every time. I used to go, girl, you done with that outfit? Give it to me. I want to take it outside because I won't be able to fit into it like you do because you have that little thing in the front. That little belly thing, but it'll we all do, but I figured if I take it out, I look great in it.
And this is why you be great on Drag Race, because you have that confidence and you have that sartorial know-how. I do appreciate that. I love my clothes and where do I broadcast from? My closet.
I've never ever seen Val with like just like sweatpants and a sweatshirt. Never have I
don't
ever
use the word
seen her like
C. I don't use the C word. I don't use casual. It's the C word to me. I don't
Yeah.
do that. I'm not in the airport at any time of the day in sweatpants. I don't like things that have the word sweat in it. I'm a lady. Thank you. So thank
You
you.
will never catch her like that. You'll never catch her off guard. She goes to the gym dressed like this and looks like this. I'm telling you, it's great. It's great.
I love it.
Thank you.
That sounds like way too much work. That's exhausting just hearing about that.
No, but if you're Val, it's like getting up in the morning and doing your hair.
Yeah. It's fun. I wish I could live every day like that. I work in scrubs, so I can't.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Is that your closet you're in? I can only imagine.
I love all the shoes.
Hold on. Look at the shoes on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of shoes.
I guarantee you that all those shoes in those closets, when you look under, when you look at the bottom of a person's shoes, you see if they're worn out. I guarantee you there's not a scuff on the bottom. I guarantee you there's not one scuff, because I'm sure she's never wore one pair of shoes more than one time.
I will challenge you on this, Brother Brown Bear, which, by the way, I was going to tell him, like, I have a nickname for him, but I'm like, oh, wait.
Yep,
Big Brother Brown Bear, I will tell you that I find myself on doing something that a lot of girls that kind of accumulate so much stuff that they don't do. They're like, oh, I'll wear that later. No, I wear it. I think life's too short. I'm like, it's a Wednesday. Do I want to put on some Swarovski? Do I want to put on some rhinestone money print pumps? Yes, I do. And that's why I think I'm sort of like a drag queen.
That's amazing. I love it.
I love it. I love it.
To answer your question, though, Mo, or to discuss that, it's not work for me because that's what I live for. I love any excuse to get dressed up. And doing this stuff nowadays in lockdown, I'm really only dressing from here up, but that's where headbands and earrings and things come in.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, here's the deal. If they're going to sit there and put out there that by the way, and your wine, I remember Val and I used to drink wine together all the time. Yeah, no, Lindsay, she don't lie. She'll tell you it's wine.
I love wine. I love wine. I love shots. You know me, Brother Brown Bear. We have fun on the road. And that's the thing. Like, that's why you'll love God TV, because it's like a slumber party with we talk about what we're wearing, what we're drinking. We have some alcohol sponsorships. We have low calorie wines. Like, it's just us being girly. And I mean, you were one of those guys one of those rare ones that could always just easily fit in with the girls. We talk about guys like you, guys like Chavo, that, if there were a girl crew, I mean, it's in the nicest way, we would want you to be there because, you get it. You fit in seamlessly and you never make fun of us for being girly. You're just one of the girls. I said it in the nicest way.
I think it's a compliment.
I try to be one of the girls, but a lot of people don't believe the girl. I'm just saying. I have my moments. And if they don't know, they know now.
You know what? You gotta say to them, Brother Brown Bear, you just say, you're never going to get it. Never, ever going to get it. Never going to get it. We used to listen to En Vogue?
En Vogue all the time, because Val and I used to travel together. And that's all we do. Now, Val, you have to tell the story, because I told them I didn't want to call you and ask you about it, because I remember it, but I forgot what was said in terms of how it went down. It was so funny. We were driving one day. I just started it off like this. We were going to a show and trying to find the arena, and we wound up in the wrong part of the arena. I mean, on the side of the arena, and all of a sudden, I just went, "Oh God!" I was like, "I got Val in this car. This is not good." Looking the way she looked, I went, "Oh God, this is not good. This is not good."
It was the place you wanted to be, basically. So we're in some small towns, and there's you take a wrong turn, and you don't know where you are. You're in somewhere like where you don't want to be. It's not a good part of town. Let's just put it that way. And so we're listening to En Vogue, and we're laughing, we're dancing. I'm making videos in the car. And I noticed that Big Brother Brown Bear is getting a little quiet. And I'm noticing that, the area that we're in is getting a little scarier and scarier. And I'm like, all right, the vibe has changed. Let's turn down the music for a second. And we start to see these people with I guess it'd be like a 40, right? Like a brown paper bag. And I was like, oh, crap. We're in the ghetto, we're in the place where they're gonna beat us up, we don't belong here. I'm all dressed up, I look crazy. And I said, what are we gonna do? And he's like, Val, just act cool. He goes, maybe push your seat down just a little bit. Maybe just kind of, lay back a little bit like that. And I'm like, okay, so then now what? And I said, maybe we can make him a peace offering, right? Do we have any Cavassier in the in the trunk, or we have any bottles of wine?
That's what it was.
And I said, I guess, okay, so these guys are ballers, right? I said, so Devon, what do ballers drink? And he's driving and he goes, Val, what do ballers drink? Redheaded white women.
Just like that. Just like that.
We both just lost it in the car. We lost it.
Redheaded white women, that's what they drink.
Yeah.
Down, Val.
All right.
Oh, we lost it. That was the fun that we had when we drove together. And it was great because you would have never thought that, myself and Val would click the way we did and basically would ride together, for so long and for so many trips. Because if you knew how the wrestling business is, it wasn't like going like 45 minutes or an hour. You were in the car together for like 3 to 4 hours going to the next town. And that was what we did. And it was always great because after we were done with TV, we would basically pretty much find each other in the arena and go, listen, next week it's us, right? I go, yep, it's us. She's like, yay, yay, yay.
I got my new Invoke CD.
So how'd you guys get out of that situation then? Was there any incidents?
There was a financial exchange and a talent show that I don't want to talk about, quite frankly.
What?
Just kidding. We just drove on. But, we did have so much fun. I got to tell you, driving with Devon and driving with some of the guys was always stress-free because it pretty much went like this. So if say it's my rental car, all the guys will pile in or whatever, or Devon luckily would drive, and I'm a horrible driver, P.S. They just want to go to the gym. So I drop them off at the gym like you're dropping off a kid to school. Okay, go, don't fight with the kids on the school bus. Bye. And then I go shopping or go to the Starbucks or what have you. And then I go pick them up and we have a great time. Traveling with the girls, no offense, but I've said this to pretty much all of them, except for the ones that were horrible. There are a lot of stress. There are a lot of I can't ride with that girl because she's this and this and that. And, I need to stop here. And, I don't like this seat. There are a lot of drama. And me being such a girl's girl, it's funny coming from me. But the guys were way more fun to drive with because it's just easy. Girls are drama.
Oh,
yes.
For sure.
It's true.
Now, Devon, I know you haven't been backstage in WWE for a bit as you've been recovering, but do you see the same thing with the females in the locker room? Like, do they still kind of have those issues?
No, I don't really see it too much. I mean, again, I'm out of the loop with that. And even when I was, backstage, because of the fact that now when you become talent and you come off, it's like, shh, don't say anything. Here comes Devon. I'm like, dude, I'm the same person. I'm the same person. I'm not sitting up here trying to look at what you're doing and then go report stuff to Vince. I'm not doing that. I was like, no, it's like, and then it took a while for some of the guys and girls to just go, Devon ain't changed. He's the same. And it's the truth. I don't feel that you have to be a certain way just because your title changes from talent to producer, or what they like to say, office. I don't think that you should change. I do feel that you have to separate yourself to a certain degree because, again, now that you're kind of like a manager, and you have to pretty much tell them what Vince wants and how things need to be done, even though they might say no or what have you, you have to try to compromise and make it work on both parts. I feel that has to be done. But for the most part, I never really heard of any real drama. And if I did, I kind of stayed away from it because here's the deal. I didn't want to be the one to have to go, yeah, I heard that before. Why did you say something, Devon? Oh, well, it wasn't my place. And you get blamed for not saying anything. You heard some drama brewing. Mm-hmm. So I kind of just stayed away from all of that, even if there was. Didn't want to know.
It's probably smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some people would ask me, I would hear certain rumors about certain people, and they'd be like, Devon, you didn't hear about that? I go, no. I go, when did this happen? They go, oh, man, this was months ago.
And
I'm like, yeah, it's like I'm out of the loop. It's like the minute I went from talent to producer, it was like I got out of the loop of everything. I didn't know who was fighting with who didn't like who, or anything. I was just so out of the loop.
Yeah. Sometimes it's fun to be kind of out of the loop, but still watch it with popcorn. So the girls in Impact Wrestling, there wasn't a whole lot of beef here and there, but there's some little spats that happen, which is hysterical. And me being me being kind of somebody who wasn't a wrestler, but I was a female, so I was around them all the time. I was in the makeup room, in the locker room, all that. It was pretty funny to be able to see the drama kind of unfold, but just be like, oh crap, because I wasn't involved. But, but what's interesting is I kind of have a different opinion sometimes than the other girls about how people were, because I saw a lot of sides of the girls that I don't think other people did. Like, for example, some of the girls would have problems with models coming in. And me coming from the side of somebody who's not a wrestler, and I did start modeling, I knew a lot of these girls that were models that were hired to say, you know, walk Ric Flair down the ramp and this kind of stuff. It was interesting to see that the girls who I still remain friends with to this day were just nice to any new girl that came in, period. And then there were a couple that were just, you know, who's this female? And they just had kind of a, she's going to take my spot. Who's she? Oh, she's a model. Screw that. And it's very interesting to see people's attitudes towards other females. I thought that was really interesting to watch because I am such a girl's girl that I kind of, I champion women supporting women. And it was interesting to remember who was good about that and who wasn't.
And that you need to know.
I'm just kidding.
That you need to know. Because, and that was like Val said, you know, it happened. It happened way before I even got in the business that people were acting like that. So for me to even try to change that wasn't going to happen. And, you know, it was just sad to see even when I was talent, some of the things I hear about and why this person didn't like that person or, you know, whatever. It was so sad, man, because it was it was high school childish reasons why you didn't like somebody.
Yeah.
You know, or you didn't think just because somebody came from the outside. Listen, I get it that this wrestling business at one point was forbidden to let the secrets out or anything like that. But once the secret did come out and people started doing that on a regular basis, and now you're inviting people in that are outside from the outside world into pro wrestling. My thing is, okay, well, then it's already out. Why can't they come in and try to, if they can help us make money, then let them do it. Because I heard rumors about Mr. T at the first WrestleMania where people thought Vince was crazy and they thought that he was wrong in inviting guys like Mr. T, Liberace at the time, Billy Martin, Muhammad Ali, all of those guys in. They were like, no, we're wrestlers that needs to stay wrestlers. And if Vince didn't do that and make that call and, you know, just forget what everybody else was thinking, WrestleMania wouldn't be here today. You know, we wouldn't have this big thing that we call professional wrestling. It would still be in the closet somewhere. We needed to make that crossover. Vince was a genius and he knew what needed to be done when it came to stuff like that.
Totally.
Speaking of closet, Lindsay, did you hear that Devon once called himself straight around the locker room? Can you believe that he would?
Serious?
I know, right?
No, where did you hear that?
I think he's only married as a cover-up.
I feel like I heard that too.
Well,
Great cover-up.
Yeah.
Well, even Taylor said that I'm just a cover-up.
Yeah.
I know your true feelings. I know why you watch RuPaul Drag Race. I was like, listen, you knew that before you said I do, so that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all.
You knew I was going to ask to borrow your dress afterwards.
You knew that.
I mean, as long as she knew.
Listen, when she came home that day and found me in her lingerie, I mean, she should have known better.
Boy, jealous you look better, huh?
Oh,
Those
well,
legs.
I told her, I said, listen, now, don't get mad just because I wear better than you. I'm just saying.
All this,
Like they used to do in a Living Color, 2 snaps up and a circle.
Yep.
That's great.
Oh my God, I love
it. So there is a little bit of an announcement that we want to make, talking about trying to get attention and whatnot, people paying attention to the show. Devon, you sent me something to put up on the screen because this is really cool. And I think it'd be great to get Val's reaction to this as well.
Oh, that's right.
Don't worry about the fine print on this, but if you're a wrestling fan and you want a wrestler to marry you, we can help you out with that.
Oh, now you tell me I'm already married. Damn it!
Yes, I became an ordained reverend. I'm an ordained minister.
Wait, you can officiate a wedding?
I can do weddings and all that. Yeah.
That is so cool.
Baptism,
oh my God,
the whole nine. Oh yeah, and I'm thinking about I would love to get involved with the church even more than I am now, and just really do it. I really do it. Reverend Devon just isn't a gimmick anymore. It's for real.
I was thinking that. Where's Leviathan when you need him? Wasn't that his name?
Listen, that was his name. He was Deacon Leviathan. That was him. I haven't reached out to Deacon yet. I haven't reached out to Batista to tell him. But I'm going to. I got to send it to him. Yeah, well, he's up there doing Hollywood, making movies with The Rock.
Who are you guys talking about?
No?
Yeah,
Or
but
has
he's,
been.
Who's The Rock?
I actually have 2 weddings that I'm going to do coming up. One in July. I'm sorry, no, one in February, the end of February, February 27th. And then the next one, I just was asked by one of my students at my wrestling school, Devon Dudley Academy. It totally caught me off guard. He said, Devon, he was like, are you busy April 24th? And I said, April 24th? I said, let me check. I said, no. I said, why? And he says, well, he goes, I would like for you to do my wedding with my fiance. And I said, absolutely. I said, I would love to do your wedding. And he's like, great. And he walked out there with the smile on his face. I said, you remember, when I walk into the place, it's Reverend Devon. It's for real.
I love that.
For real.
do you still have the Reverend Devon attire?
I have the suit.
Do you have a collection plate?
But now, but in the mail, they sent me, it was great. They sent me, when I got the certificate, they sent me the nice certificate and the card and everything. So now I got to get the collar. I got to get my reverend suit. I got to get everything now.
Woohoo!
And you can do stuff virtually.
Sorry, they're gonna be fans that are gonna want you to marry them as a Dudley boy, though. You're gonna have those fans.
Well, yes and no. They're going to want me to do this. I think Reverend Devon, because Reverend Devon back then, it was funny because people honestly, after me doing that gimmick in WWE back in 2002, I was getting to this day, I hear you're a reverend. Oh, I think that's great. And at first I was just like, I would lie and say, yeah, I'm loving it. I'm following in my father's footsteps and blah, blah, blah. But now I don't have to lie about it. Now it's for real. Now I'm a reverend.
All right.
That's exciting.
I am Reverend Devon. Yeah, I'm Reverend Devon now for real. Yeah.
I'm still processing.
And you can conduct these over the internet, right?
I'm sorry. Yes, I can. I can do that over the internet as well.
What?
Yeah.
Like marry people online?
Yeah, you can do that online.
On Zoom. I would like to get married on Zoom.
I do on Zoom.
Yes.
I do on
what
Zoom.
A reality show
like
that would be.
Hold on, that's a nice slogan. I do on Zoom.
I Zoom. It'd be called I Zoom.
Trademark, table talk, don't steal it.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Let me host it. I'll host it. Come on.
So our next victims are Sandy and Alan from
bride is.
This is something though, Devon. You were talking off air. Seriously, you want to bring, if there's a couple that wants to get married on Table Talk, you're willing to do it.
Oh,
yes, absolutely. If they wanted to come on Table Talk and they wanted to do their wedding, I'll do it. Absolutely.
We'll be the flower girl.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about that. Try to get like special graphics, and like we won't do all our normal jackass topics that day. We'll just focus on making sure they have a nice wedding. But how many wrestling fans can say that they got married by Devon Dudley?
Come on. And I'm really good at, I will cry on cue. I will cry. Just thinking about it, I want to cry. It's so beautiful.
Why do I think I know she's telling the truth that she will cry on cue?
Oh, now, I can certainly cry on cue.
Yeah, I mean,
female talent.
Because you're a wrestler or were a wrestler, you're in the wrestling industry, and if we have wrestling fans that want to get married on the show, will there be any sort of drama with it? Like, am I the guy that automatically objects to the wedding? I mean, try to craft it.
That's good.
Yeah, but let me put it this way, Mo. If you object to the wedding, and especially if it's on behalf of the female, then you're going to have one angry groomsman after you.
I could be the one that was like, I object, he's my man. And then,
Scary.
And I'll say it just like that. He's my man.
He's my man.
Val's no stranger to wrestling weddings. I mean, you had the little love triangle with Sanjay and Jay Lethal. I mean, you can have a normal wrestling wedding.
Oh my
I don't
God,
think
I
anyone would
forgot
want a
about
wrestling wedding. I think at this point, like, that's the beauty of it. It's like, oh, there's a wedding. Like, it's never going to go down well. I mean, I'm not sure that's possible.
You know what I like to do? Say, like, if it was somebody like in wrestling, if wrestling wanted to officiate it, do it like a segment on wrestling. And then all of a sudden, I was for real. Like, I really married them, and they didn't realize that I was a real.
Oh, that'd be hilarious.
I was a real, and I did it for real. And now they'd be stuck being married together. That would be great. That's a YouTube show right there. That either YouTube or reality show.
I think
take
take that
us to
Devon, you
Netflix.
can be like, you thought wrestling was fake. Y'all married. That's it.
Y'all married. That's it.
The only real thing about this was your marriage.
Boom.
Exactly. Congratulations. Two people
You
who
know,
are
Devon.
totally different with each other.
You know, Devon, somebody once the world opens back up and there's a lot more in-person celebrations, people are going to want you not just to marry them, but to then put somebody through a table.
Yeah.
I can do that too as the right Reverend Devon. I can do that.
That should cost
That is
extra, in my
Yeah,
That
I
will
agree.
be.
I agree.
That will
Yeah.
be. But then, it was funny because I was asking my wife, I said, well, I thought we were doing the Lord's work. So I feel weird taking money. I was like, but they do it in Vegas all the time. They take
Oh, no,
the
no.
money all the time.
It's a tithe. It's fine.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean, if Joel Osteen can sit up there and preach and get the money from the masses of people, then I can do it too.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Why not?
Or Jimmy Swagger, or all of them TV evangelists.
Yeah.
I can't even talk about Benny Hinn. Don't have me start laying hands on people. Woo! And the whole crowd just faint.
Lay hands on people in a very different way than wrestling.
Yeah, well,
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I feel like it's all very forceful. I don't know.
I say with
Oh,
Devon, he's
right.
going to have different packages, different Dudley level of
That's a great
packages.
idea.
And so one of them might
That's
be
good.
a chop. We don't know.
You want that? You want a table? What do you want?
Mo,
Premium
that's
table.
That's not a bad idea, Mo. I didn't even think about that. Premium packages. You get a chop. You get something to put through the table.
Oh, no, that's my move. Come on, Mo.
A
I
body
get a cut.
slam.
I get a cut because I thought of it.
Yeah.
1% is not bad, but you gotta
I gotta
think
cut the
about
whole
it.
reality show.
Yep, 2%, 1% for you, and 1% for Lynn.
Okay,
Think about it.
we'll talk about that later. Don't worry about it.
No, think about it.
I'm gonna
Think
go
about
ahead
it.
and write the
Weirder
contract.
shows.
I say 1%, but if you have masses of people trying to get me to do their wedding, 1%, that could add up to a lot of money.
But now I'm greedy,
Yeah.
and I want 30%.
Yeah, we'll
I
talk
want
about that
50%.
later.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about it
We'll
later.
talk about that later.
Oh, Lindsay.
I want 95%.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
My brother used to be Italian. Bubba, he's Italian. He's got the mafia. So if you're trying to strong arm me,
That's fine.
then I might.
That's fine.
I might have to
I
have
know
somebody come
people.
see.
I know people as well. You don't know me.
Oh, okay.
I love how
All
you
right.
said, my brother used to be Italian.
He used to be.
But he's still Italian. He's still Italian. 100%.
He's still your brother.
100% Italian.
Oh my God.
100% Italiano.
Italiano.
Well,
Oh,
we
yeah.
know that you have to start getting ready for your show.
That's right.
Yes.
Go live
I do.
here. And Jazz going to be on your show today.
Oh,
we
please,
got
give
Jazz.
please give
Amazing
Jazz
here.
my best. Tell
Yeah.
her, please give her my best and miss her something. Her and Rodney Mack, and tell them I wish them all the best. And Val, I'm serious. I want to be on your show. So please,
We would love
let's
that.
do
I
this.
was glad that you mentioned it, so I didn't have to just ask you after and go, "Hey, that was fun, but do you mind coming on our show?" We've got Al
And
Snow, we've got Chavo, we've got Devon. Spoiler alert, Devon will be on the show soon.
And I
It's all
want you to know, I'm not going to be one of those people that you come on our show and then you ask me to go on your show and I'll be like, yeah, I'll go, and then don't show up. I've had some people do that already. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've had people tell me, oh yeah, no, we'll be on your show, absolutely. And then when I reach out to them, I don't hear nothing.
That's shady. That is shady.
Man.
Well,
Hey,
not
Val.
we will have you on GAW TV because you are a grown ass man. You can come to talk to us, grown ass women. Me, Mickey James, Lisa Marie Barons, every Wednesday at 5 p.m.
Yes.
You guys have been great hosts. Thank you so much, Mo and Lindsay.
Tell Lisa
Thank
I said
you.
hi. She's my
I will.
partner in crime at Wizard Worlds.
Oh,
She and I.
yes.
Oh,
you're
man.
that Lindsay.
Yes.
Oh, that's me.
Yes.
Yeah. So please tell her I said hi. And then
I will
And
for sure.
please
Thank you
tell,
guys
Have fun
and,
tonight.
and tell Victoria I'm just sitting here looking at her going this. Oh, Victoria.
Mhm. Oh, I will. I will
Because we
take that message and deliver it personally for sure.
Yes, yeah, because we used to do a lot of Wizard World and Comic Cons together.
I know. Poor me. Oh my
with
gosh.
Lindsay. Oh yeah, we drove Lindsay crazy.
That's why I drink so much.
Tons. I want to get it done. Maybe it's the rest of this year or next year. I don't know with all this craziness, but I miss them for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Devon, I love you so much. Guys,
I
thank you.
love you too, Val. Thank you, babe.
Very
You take care. Bye, bye.
Bye. Thanks so much.
She's nice and pleasant, and did not tell as embarrassing of stories of you as I had hoped for.
No, you know what? Because of the fact that all the embarrassing stuff, I made sure that she was either sleeping in the car or she was nowhere
Really?
around.
You were that
So
prepared? You're like,
I was
I'm
that
going to be
prepared.
embarrassing. I'm going to
Oh,
make sure
yeah.
she's asleep.
Oh yeah, some of the things
Okay.
that I. Oh yeah. I even
All
tried
right.
to cut her. I even tried to cut her hair when she was sleeping. I didn't want to say that on the air, but she kind of moved.
Why wouldn't you say that on there?
Thank God I kicked her out of the room a moment ago because she could still hear us, and then you would have. Oof. You're welcome. I just saved you.
You're welcome.
Damn.
That's so bad.
All right. Well, one friendship just ended right there. Hopefully, my friendship with our next guest is not ruined by Devon and Lindsay here. He is a professional movie reviewer, pop culture expert every single week on my show, the Third String Morning Show, 97.7 QLZ. He calls in, gives us an update on the new movies, the updated schedule with the pandemic. He is from Fandango. He is Erik Davis. Erik, welcome, sir.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome to the
Erik,
show.
Welcome to the show, Erik.
Thank you. What's up? How's it going?
So weird seeing you.
I know.
We talk on the radio, like literally on the phone every single week.
You
but
guys,
it's nice to actually see you.
You've seen each other before?
I mean, I've seen him on
Is
Twitter, but
one of those where like your face doesn't match your voice. That's what I'm interested. Is that a thing?
It was funny. I was like, I was going to a different tab on my computer just to listen to the voice because that's what I'm used to hearing. But no, it matches. It definitely matches. It's good.
Although for many years in radio, clients or sponsors would meet me for the first time and they would say, and Devon, you'll probably get a kick out of this. They'd be like, oh, we thought you would be bigger and blacker. I'm like,
okay.
Thank you.
You have that deep, scary voice.
I guess.
It is scary. I will agree.
Now, Erik Davis of Fandango, were you aware that there is a pro wrestler named Fandango?
I was because we were trying to do some stuff with them.
Look at his eyes.
Yeah, we definitely aware. I have on my Twitter, I have alerts for Fandango, and constantly it is always showing up in there. And we actually try to do something because I feel like he got hurt. Did he get hurt? And he was down for the count for a while.
Yeah.
In that period,
but he's back. He's back now.
Yeah, in that period, we were trying to do something, and maybe one day we will. But sometimes on Twitter, I think there's a back and forth with them. But
let me ask you a question, Erik. Let me ask you a question. You said you were trying to do something with him. What happened? What stopped it?
I don't know. I think this was pre-pandemic, and I think once the pandemic happened, sort of everything just changed, and some plans that maybe we had we kind of shelved for the time being in order to like regroup and figure out, theaters are closed. What are we doing here? And so I want to revisit that and see what we can do with Fandango, because I think there's definitely some fun stuff to be done.
Well, he's a great guy.
When I first started mentioning that we're going to have you on the show and I was working out a schedule with you, Devon got a little confused and actually thought I was working with Fandango.
Yeah.
So like, how did you do that? How did you get Fandango?
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sitting up there. That's exactly what I said to him. I said, how did you get Fandango? I said, did you clear that with the office? Because, we can't have anybody on the show anymore.
I was like, yeah, what office?
I was like, what the hell? I was like, how do you Fandango? And I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, damn. I was like, he was one of the names that I was going to try to get. But then I forgot that he's still with the company. So I have to go through the office. I didn't want to have to go through all the paperwork and all of that to go through it. But I was like, damn. I was like, how did he get Fandango? And I had to go through the I was like, oh, man, this is crazy.
I'm the guy you get without the paperwork. That's me.
I wanted to make everybody feel better. Maybe. So I decided I was going to combine the two Fandangos together.
Oh,
and
boy,
Erik Davis.
You know what? I'm pretty muscular there. I like that.
Wow.
I like the Fandango tattoo. That's dedication.
I like it. Love your job, sir.
That's dedication right there. So we've had a long-running conversation on Table Talk over many episodes about scary movies. We had Eileen Dietz on a couple months ago from The Exorcist. Devon scared to death of that movie. What do you think is the scariest movie of all time?
God, the scariest movie of all time. I mean, usually I go to that first Halloween movie, that John Carpenter movie is usually for me. I think that there's something really kind of gritty. It was made for like no money. And the music is just really super creepy. And just that masked intruder coming into a neighborhood that's celebrating Halloween. And like, there's just something inherently really scary about sort of the home invasion concept. And whenever I get really scared at a movie, it's usually like around that home invasion. I see The Exorcist. Yeah, it's a scary movie, but for me, like the demonic stuff, I don't find as scary as I do like real life situations, a home invasion or, something like that.
Unless you
really
believe in
freaks me out.
demons.
Yes.
Well, Eric, well, let me ask you, Eric. Let me ask you this. Now, if you walked into a 12-year-old, oh boy, okay, hold on. If you walked into a little girl, yeah, I gotta reflect because the internet will take this.
I'm sorry,
We're
what?
looking up the internet for that one.
Yeah. If you walked into a family's home that you knew very well, and you walked into the little girl's room at 12, and all of a sudden she started levitating off the bed, and her head started spinning around. And
That's not normal. My daughter does that every night.
Yeah. You can't, you don't think you'd be scared?
I mean, maybe. I have an 11-year-old daughter, and if I walked in and she was doing that, I'd be like, so is this like the new TikTok dance? You're like,
Yes.
what are we doing here?
Yes. Wait, hang on. Yes.
And I think the reason why, and I tell Mo and Lindsay all the time, the reason why the movie affected me so much was because both of my parents are reverends. So, when I hear the stories of demon possession and demonic and all of that, it hits home.
Mm-hmm.
And I was raised to believe, and if you were raised to believe this, then, it's going to affect you, that this stuff is real, without the exception of the spinning of the head and the spinning of pea soup, but all the other stuff is real. And especially if you knew about the Bible and you read about the book of Revelation and how a lot of people who are into the Bible, that is the scariest part of the Bible, because not only is Revelations happening now in today's world, but just foreseeing, the coming of everything, and it's a scary thing to a lot of people. So I think that's why that movie scared me so much. I was shocked that people thought Jaws was number one. They took a vote and had on, I think it was on MC, what's the name of that station? AMC. And it was like the scariest movies of all time. And they went from 50 to number one. And they said Jaws was the scariest movie of all time. And my thing was, just don't go in the water. Stay away from the water.
Avoid it.
But that's a scenario, though, that's very relatable to people. You go to the beach in summertime, that's what you want to do. And so, to take something that's so comfortable for people and to make it a horror story and the shark, that film is brilliant because I mean, it's to their advantage that the shark wasn't working for half the film because it couldn't be in the film, and it's better that way. You don't know, it's this unseen villain that you could be standing in water and boom. And so I think it's that relatability to a movie is it affects us more the more we can sort of feel it and relate to its themes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'll be honest with you. I don't go, listen, if I can't see the bottom of my feet in the water, I'm not getting in it. So I have a nice pool in my backyard, and I'm cool with that.
But there might be a shark in your pool. I mean, that's my biggest fear.
Hold on. I live in Florida. I ain't got to worry about sharks. I got to worry about gators.
Yep.
That's right. Big in Florida. I mean, same difference.
Are you a part of that section of Florida, Devon, that has the iguanas that start falling from the trees?
No, but apparently I was speaking to my father-in-law, and apparently they're making their way up north now. Apparently, so they haven't gotten here to Melbourne, thank God, because I know I'd scream like a bitch. I know me, I know, and I would never probably go outside again. But it hasn't reached here yet.
So we need to make a scary movie about iguanas. Is that what
That's what I was going to say. What do you think, Eric? Do you think iguanas falling from the sky, horror or comedy?
Well, I mean, they did Sharknado, so they had sharks falling from the sky. And there was a pretty good. What was it? I think it was an alligator or a crocodile. They had that movie that just came through 2 summers ago, or was it last summer? I don't even know.
It was an alligator. It was an alligator.
Yeah.
He knows. Of course he knows.
In Florida, right? It wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't that bad. It was kind of like it was pretty good. I like Crawl. That was the name.
Crawl. Yep.
Crawl. And he's stuck in the crawl.
I want to get your opinion on something. And I was talking to Mo and Lindsay earlier on our pre-show. And one of the things I said, like, I'm excited in a way for the second movie, Coming to America. But in a way, I feel like it's like 30 years too late because again, it's a whole new generation, and some of them they don't know the Eddie Murphy that we know from back in the day in the 80s and stuff like that. This Eddie Murphy, they're used to Dr. Dolittle, Donkey from Shrek. They don't know.
That is a nice folder.
Yeah, they don't know the Eddie Murphy. We know Eddie Murphy's Raw, Delirious, those shows that he did back then, and how big Eddie was right after he left Saturday Night Live.
Arsenio Hall.
Yeah, Arsenio Hall. I mean, they don't realize that. So I'm like, do you think they waited way too long to do a sequel on that one? And will the fans understand? Like, will the laughter and the humor be there like it was in the first one?
Well, the one thing that I'm a little concerned about is that this version is going to be PG-13. It's not going to be R-rated like the first one. And so I'm not saying that in order to truly appreciate Eddie Murphy comedy, it needs to be R. But part of me does feel that way, especially I grew up in the 80s. I grew up with all of the Eddie stuff that you just mentioned. So I love Coming to America. I'm from New York. I lived in Queens for a certain amount of time. So that movie is very near and dear to my heart. So I'm a little concerned about the rating, but I try not to hold that against the film until I see it. And, we've seen a lot of stuff that's popped up 30 years later. We're revisiting these characters. Sometimes it works. I look at that Cobra Kai show that they're doing on Netflix, the Karate Kid.
How do you like that?
I love it. I'm a big Karate Kid. I'm a big fan of that film. So, and that's something where we're revisiting it. And some of what you talked about was audience sensibilities. The audience right now doesn't have the same sensibilities that they did back in the 80s. And I was worried about that because the Karate Kid is a very mid-80s kind of movie. And to take that and those characters and put them now in 2020, 2021, you have to really watch the tone. So I think Coming to America is a similar situation. They could knock it out of the park. It could be awesome. The original is a cult film. I think a lot of young kids have seen the original. And so you hope that it resonates with people. And so I am hopeful. I think Eddie's doing some good stuff right now. I think he's kind of making a return. And so we'll see. He's also going to do another Beverly Hills Cop movie, too, for Netflix, I believe.
And I said something earlier about that, too. Lindsay never seen one or two or three.
Oh, that's well, three. You don't need to see. You don't need to see three. And that's one and two.
That's exactly
I'll watch three. I'll watch three. That's my favorite.
That's exactly what I said. I said I was so disappointed with three because I don't know why. It just it didn't have that effect like 1 and 2 did. And I was like, I don't know. It was weird. It was just very weird for me when I saw that. And if they're doing another one, a fourth one, then I really hope it's not in the same way that they did 3.
No,
I really hope. And is Taggart coming back? I know Billy was in the third one, and he was the only one that returned. Taggart wasn't there, and Lieutenant wasn't in it either.
Yeah, they haven't announced who's like the cast and all that stuff. I think they're writing it now. At least the last time.
Devon.
I'm sorry?
You still have a chance to be in the movie, Devon.
I would love to. Listen, I would love to do movies here and there, but I don't think I fit in with the Hollywood crowd because I would probably put too many people through tables. The minute they open their mouth, I'd get pissed.
Inmate 2. You could be Inmate 2, Devon.
Oh, man. You just say that you're method acting. Just be like, I'm method acting right now. And they would, totally buy it. It's fine.
If I could be stoned on the whole part, I'll do it.
Okay.
Now, Eric, I mean, I can go on for hours talking with you about stuff like this, but even I was talking with Lindsay and Mo about Jason versus Freddy. I thought 25, almost 30 years too late to do that because I think by the time it came out with the new generation, they didn't know like how terrorizing Friday the 13th was for us as kids growing up, or even Nightmare on Elm Street. So to see that happen almost 20, 30 years later, it was cool to say, oh my God, Freddy versus Jason. I remember growing up as a kid going, what happened if those two met? And then all of a sudden, 20, 30 years later, they wind up doing the movie. I like the movie, but I just think that it didn't have the oomph that it would have had if it was done back in the mid 80s when it was really hot back then. Do you agree?
I don't know. I'm not such a fan of those meetup movies because I think, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street, they're just different, and they have different ways that they enter their stories, and each villain is a different kind of villain. And Freddy, he talks and he's got a lot of personality, and Jason is just, a masked slasher. And I just feel like they don't match. Same with the Alien Predator movie. I didn't like that either, And so I don't know if I agree that if they would have done that in the 80s, it would have been a better movie than the version that we actually got, because I don't know how you make really a great movie out of that premise. It just doesn't really connect because the two guys, they just, they can't really communicate with each other, and it's just weird, and it kind of pops you out of sort of the mythology of each character. And I think it kind of weakens each character and the way we feel about them too, when you put them in that kind of movie, because it just feels a little hokey, in my opinion, to force that partnership.
But let me ask you a question. And saying the word you used was hokey, do you think you could have used that back then? When again, we know now about movies and realism, the blood, if it looks fake or not. Going back to the Alfred Hitchcock movie, Psycho. I remember when I first saw that, I was like, this is what terrorized people. All you saw was a knife doing this, and the lady screaming, and then the blood. And because it was black and white, it wasn't even red. It was black blood. It was just like, what the hell? And to me, it didn't do anything for me. And I remember getting it on video because I wanted to see what the big buzz was about this movie. And I remember getting it at the family video store and putting it in, and my aunt walked in and she goes, "What do you think? This is Psycho." She goes, "Oh, I gotta get out of here. I can't watch that." I'm like, "What do you mean you can't watch it? There's nothing scary." For that one scene, that was the only, back then, scary part of the movie was that one scene. I guess I agree with some of the people that said the build-up up to that one scene made it intense. But we didn't know what was going to happen until we saw it. And again, when I saw it, I just was like, But again, that was for that time. That's just like when you go back and you watch the old Dracula and Frankenstein movies. You're basically just like, really? Kids were scared back then over this? And we laugh about it now. But, it just, to me, watching it now, you laugh. And you're just like, oh, my God, this is, no. And just to see how they did things back then, with you can see the fakeness of it, or I should say the hokiness of it. Compared to as opposed to when they, did it back then.
Yeah.
The Dracula movies have better, I don't know.
I think, you could say the same thing about special effects. Like I remember Jurassic Park when I first saw that in theaters. It blew me away. The effects blew me away. It was one of the first movies with surround sound in a theater. I was looking around me. I was like, are there dinosaurs in this theater? But now I'll go back and I still love Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
But you watch that film through a 2021 lens and you see the effects are from back then, and they do things a lot better now. And so yeah, I mean, whenever you look back, it's you're always going to see like, oh, well, this isn't scary to modern audiences, and that's why you kind of have to keep finding new ways to scare people. I mean, they just brought back Michael Myers and Halloween, and I was like, after how many Halloween movies is this guy still scary? And they did a good job because they had good writers. They wrote a good story for Jamie Lee Curtis. They had a great director that knows how to set the mood and knows what's scary. And so I think anything can come back. I mean, even Psycho, they did a TV show, right? That was actually pretty good, of a young Norman Bates. So
Bates Motel, yep.
There's always new access points. There's always new ways to come back to it.
I was disappointed when they killed off Jamie Lee Curtis, though.
Wait, what?
I wanted to see us if I forgot. Lindsay probably didn't.
I feel like the last one I watched was the Halloween H2O.
Oh no, she's still alive. She's still.
No, you remember when Michael stabbed her in the back?
No.
Remember not you, Lindsay. Remember when he stabbed him in the back and she fell and she was kind of reaching and kind of looking for, kind of grabbing for him, and she died.
What H2O? In that H2O?
No, not H2O. No, not that one. I think it was the next one after. I think when it started off where he was in the asylum. and he was I guess he murdered. I guess he was looking for the little girl. I'm not sure. I don't remember the name. I don't remember which Halloween it
Stop
was.
ruining it. I'm just kidding. I'm never gonna watch it.
Well, the thing with this new Halloween, they only count Halloween and I think just the original Halloween. That's the only one that counts. So anything that came after the original Halloween, you have to like forget it existed.
Yeah, you're talking about Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. She did die in that one, Devon.
Oh, okay,
according
that's
to
what I
the
thought.
internet.
But then they brought her back in H2O.
But they brought her back, so
Oh, so
So
wow.
I have never seen any Halloween movie that I watched H2O when I was scared.
So somebody dies, Hollywood no matter what it dies, doesn't mean anything. They could always bring it back. It's like the television show 24. I love 24. Jack Bauer, I think I'm in the end. And I'm just like, no, he can't die. I love this show. You know,
deaths in movies are like retirements in pro wrestling. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Well,
Right, Devon?
it does for me. I'm done.
Oh,
Are you? No.
all right.
I'm done.
Whatever.
I'm
All
done.
right. So
Whatever.
I know we got to wrap things up here with you here soon, Eric.
yeah.
I need
Hold
your
on.
help.
I got more. I want to ask him.
We only have so much time. Quit talking so much.
Guys, get his number and get some text.
I thought we were in charge.
Eric, I need your help. Devon doesn't seem to be that excited about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Doesn't keep up with any of it. How do I change this? How do we get him sucked in?
Oh wow! I mean, just start. Watch the original Iron Man. Have you tried it? Like it's a really solid film. It's a different film. It doesn't feel too overly comic booky or superhero.
Which one is this?
The original 2008 Iron Man. Yeah, Robert Downey Jr.
Iron Man. Okay, I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, start there. They have a new show coming out, WandaVision, on Disney Plus this Friday, which is also, I think, a good start too, because it's not overly action superhero. It's more kind of we're trapped in a retro sitcoms and what's happening to us and what's going on, and that's also a fun sort of, especially if you grew up with like some of those retro old school sitcoms like Bewitched and what have you. So that's fun.
Okay.
Eric's fancy. He gets to see all this stuff ahead of time.
What?
I started hanging out with Eric.
Whatever.
So yeah, that would be my access point. I would watch either original Iron Man or this new WandaVision show, and then take it from there. And if you like what you're watching, then keep going, keep going down the line.
Wow, I like that. Start at the very beginning or the very end. Don't start in the middle. I like it.
Yeah, it's very basic,
right,
but
Mo, I'm gonna do it.
Okay. All right.
And
Eric, I'll keep you posted and let you know how that turns out. At Erik Davis on the socials. That is Eric with the K. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today.
Yes, thank you, Eric. We really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
It's okay if you're overwhelmed. It happens every time.
I really enjoyed him. Lindsay, just so you know,
yes,
when I do get this movie, I'm handcuffing you to me. I'm coming to you, handcuffing you, and with your eyelids like this, and you're gonna watch every single movie that Mo wants me to watch, and I'm gonna watch Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, and I'm gonna have to and 3.
You know what? I will watch them
them.
before you come handcuff me. How's that?
No.
I'm sorry about the handcuffing part, Lindsay, but you're welcome for being forced to watch all the Marvel movies.
I've already watched them all. Marvel's not a problem. It's the older stuff.
Yeah. It's the horror movies.
Marvel on. I got freaking Black Widow. It's fine. It's fine.
That's right. You do have a Captain Marvel shirt that you've rocked a couple times.
Listen, and also I wear Crocs to work.
And you wear Crocs.
And I have a Captain Marvel thing that goes on my Crocs. Listen.
Yeah, but you're a doctor. You have to wear Crocs.
Oh, you think I'm a doctor?
Well, you're an animal doctor.
Am I a doctor?
You give those animals the needles and
I do that. Yeah, I'm not a doctor.
Yeah, well, you're a doctor.
Okay, yes, I'm a doctor.
Dr. Drunk.
Yep,
What?
I need a
I am
doctor.
Animal drunk doctor. Drunk animal doctor.
I would watch that show.
I would be on that show.
Yeah.
Oh, I know you would.
It would be about me.
About
Okay.
you.
All right. Look, we've come up with 2 show ideas.
We're creating
one episode.
Where's the money? It should just be pouring in.
Who is watching us and make these shows happen?
Falling on us.
Absolutely. Get in touch with me or Mo or Lindsay on our Instagram. Of course, Testify Devon on Instagram.
@_Linz Martini.
There you go.
Instagram and Twitter.
Yep, and on Twitter, it's Testify Devon as well.
Mm-hmm.
And well, my Facebook is private. It's Devon Hughes, but that's private.
Say Devin.
I'm still going to tell you about my Facebook page, but don't you dare try to request me.
I'm not on Facebook.
I just deleted anyway when people I don't know. I mean, again.
That's why we're not friends. Dang it.
No, you never requested me.
I did. You said ignore.
No.
Wait. What did that one say?
Lindsay MD, moderate drunk.
Love it. Yes.
Moderate.
Yes.
Moderate is still pretty gentle and kind, I think.
No,
but
it's true.
If you saw beginning of the show or earlier when Val was on, maybe you missed it. Devon is a reverend, officially a reverend again.
Officially a reverend.
So if you are in a relationship and you want to get married by a pro wrestler, you can do it here live on Table Talk.
Who's now an ordained reverend for real. It's still a little shocking to me that I went and did this. And, I never, when I did the character back in 2001 in WWE, I was very skeptical and asking my father for his blessing. And I said, well, I'm going to have to tell him because he's going to know. And I remember going to him and telling him, and he wasn't upset at all. I showed him my opening that I did when I introduced the character on SmackDown, and he stopped and he did one of these.
Oh.
And he just looked, and I just went, oh man. So now I got to fight between Vince and my dad. Do I listen to Vince, the man who pays my salary, or do I listen to my father who raised me if he decides, no, I can't do this? And I'm like, oh, God, please don't, please. And he just went, son, I actually like it. He goes, you actually did a good sermon. I was like, oh, God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. But then he goes, when you're done hooping and hollering in the ring, I want you to put that robe on and do it where it really counts. And that's in the pool pit. And, if my father was here today, he'd be so proud of me, because that's exactly what I did. I went and became an ordained reverend now. So I'm happy about that.
See? Yeah, he's talking about renewing vows. That's a possibility.
That's
too.
a great idea.
We're absolutely serious. So if you know somebody,
even if the missus is not a fan of wrestling, she can hang out with me. It's fine.
Yeah.
So again, I'm now officially Reverend Devon. So you see that little thing where you says Devon, you got to add in Reverend now.
Okay, every show.
Every show. Oh, my brother, testify.
Testify. Give me your money.
Testify.
Okay.
The guests continue next week on Table Talk. I assume we're good to promote who our next guest is, Devon?
Absolutely. A very good friend of mine, someone who I worked with in WWE, and someone who I'm really looking forward to coming on the show, Heath Slater.
He's got kids.
Yeah, that's something him and I got in common.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Heath Slater next week on Table Talk. Thanks for checking us out.